Well, the whole Hamas-Israel conflict. Recently, there was a report that pagers and walkie-talkies exploded on the Hamas side.
No, Hezbollah side.
On the Hezbollah side, my bad. That they said Israel was behind. As someone who has a computer science degree that's taken some electronics courses and so forth, I don't see how this is humanly possible unless they actually put some sort of explosive device in these walkie-talkies ahead of time.
You have to hack the supply chain.
Okay, so I was right. You can't someone can't take my existing cell phone and blow it up in my ear.
Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can get it to thermal runaway to have that amount of discharge. There is definitely some kind of strip explosive added to the battery pack somehow in that supply chain. That is a long-running, highly sophisticated effort that they accomplished, and I applaud them for doing it. I mean, my God, it's the ultimate in targeted attack to clack off 2,700 of Hezbollah leadership. And it's self-selected because they weren't just random pagers given to anybody. There was an encrypted pager specifically purchased for Hezbollah, by Hezbollah. And I wish the CIA was capable of that. I wish they were that innovative and willing to take risks to do that kind of operation. Alas, they are not.
Well, you actually said that China could do the same thing to the U.S. because of their grip on the global supply chain.
So in the case of getting after 2,700 pagers, an intelligence service had to figure out to stimulate that demand, to find the supplier, to replace and manufacture the battery plus explosive plus an initiating device in that. The fact is, every iPhone made in China. Enormous amount of batteries for everything made in China. Or full products made in China, from circuitry, operators, everything made in China. It's something we need to be very, very mindful of.
So you're saying that hypothetically China could do the same thing?
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, you talked about how defense contractors buy lobbyists and politicians to land defense contracts, and you actually compare it to how the cartels work.
Look, they pay an enormous amount of money to almost a brigade worth of lobbyists, a couple thousand, in Washington to lobby for specific defense spending. You know, like the F-35 for Lockheed Martin is built in 45 states. It's the most expensive weapon system in human history. And the operational readiness of the aircraft, 29%.
Huh.
Fully mission capable, 29% can fly right now.
So 2/3 of them is just junk.
Down for maintenance.
Yeah.
That's bad. That is not great value for the taxpayer. So look, in the Clinton administration, there used to be 100-ish major defense contractors. They pushed it, consolidated down to 5. Boeing, Lockheed, Northrop, Raytheon, General Dynamics. They need to be broken up because that cartel, right? They really control the bidding. Some will bid on some will bid on others. It's a joke how non-competitive most of those bids are. And the way Pentagon procurement works is everybody that has a great idea develops a new thing in their basement or their garage with 3 of their friends. The procurement process is so slow that they get choked off. So they get those mid-level good idea guys get squashed and bought for pennies by the big guys who then resell it. For example, the drone that was used largely by the U.S. in the War on Terror was originally developed for tuna fishing. Fantastic. Some innovative guys in Washington State, in the Pacific Northwest, built a thing that launched off the top of their fishing boat and they would recover on a cable. Fantastic. Boeing bought it, charged 5 times as much per aircraft. Come on.
I mean, I'm Jewish myself. I've been to Israel multiple times, and I really hate the conflict that's happening right now in Israel with Hamas. And I put the blame on both sides.
I hate the conflicts too.
Yeah, I hate the fact that the Hamas attack happened and, over 1,000 people got killed and kidnapped. I also hate the heavy-handed response that's killing civilians and so forth. If you were in charge of that operation, do you think you could actually end it? Or do you think that this just goes back to biblical times and it'll never end?
I knew, look, I had an idea of the kind of fight that Hamas wanted to have, and they built 500 kilometers of tunnels, 300 miles, all under Gaza. And I knew the IDF was going to have a problem with that. And I knew the civilians were going to suffer if there's a whole bunch of urban combat trying to bomb into those tunnels. So I went in November last year, I had donors lined up, and I had the best drilling technology from Texas. Horizontal drilling technology to what? To sit outside, horizontally drill into those tunnels, flood it with seawater.
Just destroy all the tunnels.
Take away the sea, right.
Yeah.
Destroy the underground weapons caches with no bombs. Take away their ability to maneuver with no bombs. Flush hostages and terrorists out of the tunnels with no bombs. So you at least even the playing field and make it much less likely that you have to bomb in a civilian area to hasten their ability to resolve the conflict and especially protect civilians. Because look, it is a bad look to kill civilians at that level. I understand the IDF has to finish Hamas. Another Condi Rice move. She was the one that decided we should have a free election in Gaza. And they elected Hamas.
Yep, exactly.
Look, anytime you lock up people in a small area and they don't have freedom of maneuver and freedom to trade, they're gonna scheme and come up with a way to lash back.
Yeah.
And so all that productive energy that could have been done into making a better product or a better thing,
better society,
was instead innovated to destroy their border wall and to kill as many Israelis as possible. It's really tragic.
Yeah, I mean, it essentially became an open air prison. And like I said, I feel that the problem is on both sides. And I hope at some point in my lifetime there will be a solution, because my entire life, Israel and Palestine have been killing each other. And I don't see an end to it, unfortunately.
And a lot of that is stimulated by Iran.
Once again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iran in Lebanon, Iran in Gaza, and Iran in Iraq, and Iran in Yemen, and the Houthis. They have shut down a major waterway. The next country that's at risk because of that is Egypt. They're losing $800 million a month just because the Suez is largely shut down. They're losing toll fees. And Egypt can't really afford that. The Egyptian pound has already fallen by half of value because of that.
Well, there was rumors that you plan on taking the Venezuelan government down with mercenaries.
That's a little strong.
Explain it.
I've paid attention to Venezuela for a long time. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of Hernando de Soto, a great economist who talks about how to build free, equitable, wealth-generating societies based on private property, land rights, the basic rungs of capitalism. And Venezuela voted in socialism in the late 90s, Chavez.
Yeah.
And now the Chavismo government, Maduro, has stolen the last 3 elections. This time, the opposition won with 70% of the vote. Clearly, they have the receipts, 70%, 30%, not even close, and they're just stealing it. And so I have been vocal. I trolled Maduro on Twitter, and I posted, if the Biden administration wants actual justice and democracy in Venezuela, they should up the bounty on Maduro, because there's a U.S. DEA bounty, a warrant for his arrest for $15 million for drug trafficking. On the Minister of Interior there, Diosdado Cabello, $10 million wanted by the DEA for drug trafficking. I said they should raise those bounties to $100 million apiece, and they could use frozen Venezuelan government funds. Raise the bounty, sit back, watch the magic happen.
Well, weren't you involved in Operation Gideon?
What is that?
It was a failed operation where a mercenary corporation was hired on behalf of the Venezuelan opposition leader, Juan Guaido, to assassinate President Maduro.
Not me at all.
Not true.
Nothing to do.
Okay,
Nope.
yeah, because there's articles about this saying you were part of this.
Lots of idiots typing from their basement that don't know what the hell they're talking about.
This is why I'm asking the source right now.